Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, King Parikshit, he was very curious. How was possible for Vritrasur, a demon, could have so much love, expressing so much love for the Supreme Lord, Narayan? He was surprised. He said, generally, the demons, asurs, they are obsessed with passion and ignorance. So how is that he is speaking like a great devotee, expressing his feeling, So then Shukadeva Goswami explained about his past life. He was King Chitraketu. Very, very instructive pastime in the Srimad Bhattam, the life of Chitraketu. Because he was a king of Shurasen, he wanted to have a son. Naturally, king want to have a son to inherit his kingdom, so he can retire to the forest for self-realization. But he was not destined to have a son. It was not in his karma to have a son. So he went to, and he married many women, thousands of them. None of them could give him a son. None of them, not even one. And he was not impotent or anything like that. It just was not his karma. But he met Rishi Angira, and he inquired from him, please help me. I need your blessing. I want to have a son. Angira said, it's not in your destiny to have a son. But since you came to me, it's my duty to fulfill your desire. But let me tell you, the son will give you great happiness, but a lot of suffering and lamentation. You decide if you still want to have a son. And the king thought, Chitraketu thought, oh, maybe the son will be disobedient, misbehaved. It's better to have a misbehaved son than no son at all. So he said, okay, I agree. Please give me, do the yagya, let me have a son. So Angira agreed. He did the yagya, gave the fruit, shared with one of your wives. He gave to his Kritadyuti, his first wife. And they have a son. The palace was full of joy, happiness. Everybody's celebrating. The co-wives were not happy. They became envious. All the attention went to the mother of the child. They were neglected. So they became envious. They became distressed. And they decided to poison the child. So they put poison in the food of the child. And of course, the child died. When that happened, the king and the queen were completely devastated. Totally. They were crying incessantly, not eating, not sleeping, days by day. They were totally immersed in affliction and misery. So all the palace, all the citizens were also like that, very, very much suffering. But then Narad Muni came with Angira to visit the king. And Narad Muni tried to preach to him, pacify him, you know. The soul is eternal, doesn't die when the body dies. Bhagavad Gita, you know. But he was so overwhelmed with lamentation, he could not hear philosophy. Didn't have any reaction on him. No. When somebody is suffering too much, they can't react to philosophy. So then Narad Muni understood he has to do something drastic to make the king react. So by his power, Narad Muni brought the son back to life. The soul came back to the body. And the soul spoke to Chitraketu and his wife. The soul said, I had many parents as a beast, as a bird, as a human, as demigod, and so many lives. Which one of you are my parents? I have so many parents in the past. And to tell you the truth, King Chitraketu, frankly speaking, actually, my past life, I was your enemy. And I was born as your son and died untimely just to make you suffer. Was my karma to die like this? Was your karma to have a son? But was my desire to make you suffer? Because I was your enemy in past life. Chitraketu was in complete shock, that he was attached to the son, but the son proved to be his enemy from past life. Imagine the shock for him mentally, like like electroshock, somebody shake you. So he came to reality, of the soul. He understood that this life is not everything. Having a kingdom, having son, beautiful wife is not everything. Must be something more than that. So he inquired from Narad Muni about the absolute truth. Narad Muni accepted him as his disciple. He initiated him in the mantras, and he was worshiping the Supreme Lord. And in few weeks of full absorption in Bhakti Yoga, Chitraketu have the darshan of Sankarsha. In few weeks, he became so absorbed in the process of devotional service, he achieved the success so fast, even faster than Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj got 6 months. Chitraketu in few weeks. So all depend on the eagerness. Eagerness. That's the secret, Lauliam, to achieve success in devotional service. The secret is, Prabhupada said, most important thing is sincerity. Then you have to have spiritual greed, Lauliam, hankering, crying for Krishna. Like Mahaprabhu, he was crying for Krishna. But Mayavadis can't understand crying can be pleasure. He crying out of love. He will tell his followers, I have not an inch of love for Krishna. But you may say, but you're crying. How you don't have love? Well, this is just to show my good fortune. But if I really had little love for Krishna, I would have died long time ago. I'm still breathing. I'm still eating, sleeping. How can I have any love for Krishna? That is the proof I'm attached to maintain this body. That means I don't have any love for Krishna. That's the way of somebody who has really pure love for Krishna. I think he has no love at all. That's the symptom of pure love. When Radharani was away from Krishna, he went to Mathura. She was feeling so much separation from Krishna that she approached a pond, the water will evaporate. Because of the heat of separation from her body will evaporate the water. And she told her friend, Lalita, I can't tolerate Krishna's separation anymore. Please give me, I want to write him a letter. So they brought peacock feather to write, and like that, a palm leaf. And she was trying to write, but she will faint. Every time she tried to find, she will faint out of love of separation from Krishna. Finally, she could write only three letters, Swa. The full word is, you know what is the full word? To say greetings, Swasti, isn't? Uh, Swagata. But she could write only Swa, 3 letters. That's the shortest love letter in the history of the world. But there is another story about writing letters that while still Krishna was in Vrindavan, of Radharani still felt separation to meet him, wanted to meet him. It was not easy to meet him. Uh, Difficulties, so many difficulties to meet. So she called her friend, Lalita. I want to write a letter for Krishna. Please bring all the materials. And she became completely absorbed in thinking of Krishna. And being totally absorbed in Krishna, she wrote, she taught herself to be Krishna. So she wrote, "My very dear Radhe." When she realized that, one drop of tear fell on the palm leaf, one tear. She folded, gave it to Lalita, take to Krishna. He will understand. When Krishna received the letter, saw the tear there, my dear Radhe, he understood what happened. So he told his friend Subal, Radharan is feeling too much separation from me. Please I want to write her a letter. So Krishna became fully absorbed in Radharani, feeling her separation, so much so that he taught himself to be Radharani. So he wrote, "My very dear Shyam Sundar." Also, one tear fell on the palm. He closed it, gave it to Subal, take to Radharani. That's pure love. It's very difficult to understand this pure love. Uh-huh. So Mayavadi can't understand that even crying can be pleasure, spiritual pleasure, feeling Krishna's separation. No? That is the price we have to pay. We have to buy this eagerness anywhere we could find it. So this is the secret. So it's not astonishing that Chitraketu, in few weeks, he could have the darshan of Sankarsha. Few weeks. And then he was traveling in his Biman all over the universe with other great devotees, chanting the glories of the Lord. Everywhere he was absorbed in hearing, chanting, remembering about the Supreme Lord. He was fully self-realized soul, liberated soul. And one day his Vimana was flying over Kailash. And he saw some sages there hearing lecture by Lord Mahadev. And Mahadev was sitting, and his wife was on his lap, sitting on his lap. Mm. Uma. I mean, then Chitraketu came down to see more close Mahadev, and he made a joke with Mahadev. He said, "You are very famous to be self-controlled." You remember the story when Lord Mahadev, he lost Sati. She left her body, because of her father, Daksha. He was in full meditation, completely absorbed in the Lord. But then Sati was reborn as Parvati. So the demigod asked Parvati, "Please marry Lord Mahadev. We need a son from Mahadev to be our commander to fight the Asuras. So please awaken his meditation. Try to induce him to wake up, marry you, have a son." So she went, tried to, in so many ways, dancing, chanting, whatever. but he will not come out of consciousness. So she touched his genitals. It is said, no, but he was so self-controlled that didn't disturb him at all. But then Kamadev, Cupid came with and was shooting arrows of passion at Mahadev to help the devatas, for their purpose. So Mahadev opened his eyes and he was angry at Cupid, Kamadev, and he looked at him with anger and he burned him to ashes. He became ashes. Then, of course, he was pacified. He married her, and they have a son, Kartikeya. He was the commander of the Devatas to fight the Asuras. Do you know that what was the wife name of Kamadev? Anybody knows? Rati. Rati, yes, correct. Now, what happened next to Kamadev? He was born as Pradyumna, Krishna's son. And he was stolen by a demon and thrown in the ocean. And a big fish swallowed him. And some fishermen caught this big fish and took it to one Asura king. Prabhupada said, Asura eat fish, not devotees. I remember first time I came to India and I saw in Navadvip one Brahmin eating fish. I was shocked and surprised. He had a Brahmin thread, everything. So in my innocence, I approached him and said, you're a Brahmana, why you're eating fish? He looked at me, you Westerner don't know nothing. This is Ganga Prasad, Ganga Prasad. In Jagannath Puri, they mix it with the Mahaprasad. Kali Yuga, When Prabhupada first time went to Jagannath Puri, he stayed at his uncle's home. Everybody was eating fish. Even Vaishnavas were eating fish. So they have to get new pots because he will not touch even the food cooked, even vegetarian food cooked in those pots. That the fish were cooked. So they have to get new pots for him. And Prabhupada was in shock. All the Brahmin were eating fish. Anyway, so then at the kitchen, they opened the belly of this big fish and baby came out. So one woman was working the kitchen. She took care of the child. She bathed him, fed him, took nice care of him. But the baby in few days became young, 16 years old. And she started showing conjugal love, attraction for him. He was surprised. First you treat me as a mother, now you're feeling conjugal love. What is this? It's a contradiction. She said, well, the thing is that in my past life, I was Rati and you was Kamadev. So it's natural for a wife to feel attraction for the husband. But the truth is, not that Pradyumna is Kamadev, rather Kamadev is an expansion of Pradyumna. He's the original Kamadev. That's the truth. So anyway, so Chitraketu was making innocent joke, You're very famous for being self-controlled, but you're behaving like very attached man to his wife. What's surprising is that. So Mahadev smiled, didn't take it seriously, A joke between two self-realized souls, liberated souls, No big deal. The sages there also smiled. Was no offense, because there was offense, they will protest. They will say something. But no, they understood this is a simple joke between great souls. But Parvati didn't take it like that. She became angry at Chitraketu. That you're criticizing my great husband. Then she cursed him. Become an asur, become a demon. Then Chitraketu fell at her feet. He said, "You are my mother. Mother can bless or can curse the child. It's up to her. For the child, he accepts anything the mother gives, he accepts. So I accept the curse as a blessing on my head. Please, mother, forgive me." Like that. Uh, and Mahadev later told Parvati, "Today you was defeated by Chitraketu, by great devotee Chitraketu." Uh, uh, because for devotees, pure devotees, hell or heaven is the same. Prabhupada give the example, typewriter, you take it to heavenly planet, what will do? Typewriting. You take it to hell, what will do? Typewriting. The same way, pure devotee, wherever they are, wherever they go, anybody they may have, they will do the same thing, pure devotional service. Chanting, remembering the Lord purely. So although Chitraketu became an Asur, Vritrasur, he, by the mercy of the Lord, he remained in his mind pure devotee. He didn't change. The body was of Asur, but his heart, his mind was a devotee, pure devotee. So when he was fighting Indra, the priest made a mistake in the mantra. The mantra was to have an Asur who will be enemy of Indra. But he made a little mistake in the pronunciation, and instead of uh, getting somebody enemy to, no, the mantra became Indra become his enemy. You may say it's the same thing. No, not necessarily. Somebody can be your enemy, but you may not feel enemy to him. Like Yudhishthir Maharaj, no? Yudhishthir Maharaj is famous as to be Ajata Shatru. He never had any. Why? Well, Duryodhana was his enemy. But no, he didn't think his enemy. Duryodhana think like that, but not Yudhishthir Maharaj. That's the symptom of a saintly person. Titikshava karunika suridam sarvadehinam ajata shatrava shanta sadava sadhu bhushanam. They are very tolerant, compassionate. They are friendly to everyone. Ajata shatrava, they don't think anybody my enemy. They are peaceful, equipoised. So Vritrasura, though he was Asur, he was preaching to Indra. You do your duty, you must kill me. That's your duty. And actually, being such big, powerful demon, they didn't know how to kill him. But Vishnu instructed the Devatas, the only way you can kill this Vritrasur, if you approach Rishi, Dadichi Rishi, ask him for his bones, you make a powerful weapon with that, because he's doing so much austerity, his bones become very powerful. So you ask for his bones, and he will give. Make a weapon that became Vajra, Indra's weapon, thunderbolt. So they approached Dadichi, Devatas, Indra, explained to him everything. Said, Vishnu want me to sacrifice my life for his service. I'm more than willing. Okay. He entered meditation, and at willing, he gave up his life. Use my bones as you desire. He sacrificed his bones for the service of the Lord. That's how much detachment he had from the body, Because the most thing we attach to in this world is our body. And why we take so much care of the body? Because the soul is living inside the body. The body is dear because the soul living inside. And why the soul is so dear? Because it's part of Krishna. That's why. So, anyway, so Vritrasura was killed. He went to Vaikuntha, and Indra remained in the material world. So who was the winner? Who was the loser? So it's not easy thing to understand, the mentality of pure devotees, like that. Now I'm going to stop here. If you have any comments, questions, please do.
Very nice class. So you mentioned that the eagerness for Krishna is very rare and it cannot be found anywhere. So how we can get this eagerness for Krishna? Please enlighten.
How can we?
Get the eagerness for Krishna.
Lolya. We must become more purified. The soul has naturally all this love for Krishna. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prem. The Chaitanya Charitamrita said, all soul have in their heart this Krishna Prem. But it's covered by Tamagun, Rajagun. So the heart must be cleansed. When the heart very clean, then naturally this feeling will come. Naturally. So, but we have to become serious, about practicing sadhana, strictly trying to chant with attention, with feeling the holy name. Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj said, don't try artificially to meditate on Radha Krishna Lila. Rather, chant offenselessly the holy name, and the holy name will reveal everything to you in due time. The name, the form, the qualities, and the lila of the Lord will be revealed. Some Babaji and Radha Kund, they have this Siddha Pranali mantra initiation, no? And Gaur Kishore Das Babaji said, our Siddha Pranali mantra for Gaudiya Vaishnavas, you know which one is? Trinadapi Sunichena Tarudapi Sahishnuna Amani Namanadena Kirtanaya Sadahari. He said, that's our Siddha Pranali mantra. That will reveal everything to us in due time. Well, spiritual life means we have to be patient, keep enthusiastic, and endeavor sincerely, with confidence. It can be done. We should not just be patient and don't give up. We have the tendency to be impatient. We want things fast, Why Chitrakitu got in a few weeks? I also want to get darshan of the Lord. Once devotee asked Prabhupada, how can I know if I'm pleasing Krishna? Prabhupada answer was, when you will see him, you will know. Do you know that Prabhupada did see Krishna? In 1972, was Prabhupada in his room chanting japa, and one of his disciples, Sudama, entered the room to leave some items for him. And he saw Prabhupada crying and chanting. He paid obeisance and left, silently. But then one Mataji brought some nice cloth for Prabhupada, some dhoti. Please take to his room. He may need them. So he entered the room again, put them there, pay obeisance. What's going on? Prabhupada called him. Sudama, come here. Do you know why I'm crying? No, Prabhupada, I don't know. Because by the mercy of my Guru Maharaj, now I am seeing Krishna. Prabhupada said that. So, by hearing this pastime, we try to develop some appreciation and some desire. The verse said, the introduction, not so many people have desire to get off the material world. And those who have desire, they may not be so fully absorbed. So it's not an easy thing. That's why Mahaprabhu said, Chetodarpana Marjana. First, clean the heart. That's the job. Cleaning every day, cleaning. If you haven't cleaned your room for 10 years and you decide one day to start cleaning, and you start sweeping, so much dust come, you get desperate. No, it can't be cleaned. It's too much. But no, one has to be patient. Take few dollars every day. Take some clean, clean. One day become fully clean. So in that way, we hardly need to be cleansed. Uh, uh, we need many years of cleansing. So patience is very important, but enthusiastic. Don't lose the enthusiasm. The goal is very great. We have to put the goal over the head, worship it. At the same time, practice, no? Practice everyday sadhana. Then maybe one day we will start feeling some eagerness. Maybe by Krishna's mercy, Guru's mercy. It is possible, not impossible. Not cheap though, not easy, but it's possible. Very good. At least we got one question, nice question. Hare Krishna. All right. Thank you very much for allowing me to give this service to the Vaishnavas. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Premanandi. Hare Hare.